More than 24 hours since a deadly stabbing at North Forsyth High School.
The family has identified the student killed as 16-year-old Cameron Graham.
We just learned moments ago North Forsyth High will have a remote learning day tomorrow. Students will then return to class in person on Friday. They did not have school today.
And our team has you covered tonight with the latest information. We'll hear more about the status of the other student involved and the steps parents can take to help children cope right now. But first we begin with the family of the student killed. They tell us he had a smile that could light up every room. They reached out directly to our newsroom and sat down for an emotional interview with our Wanye Reese. They spoke about the gut-wrenching moment they learned 16-year-old Cameron Graham had died.
And I'm just like, no. I didn't want to believe it. Because I said, I'm going to go see my nephew.
Heartbroken.
My soul has left my body. A chunk of me is not here because of my nephew being gone.
For Charlita Summers, the grief after the deadly stabbing of her nephew, 16-year-old Cameron Graham, is overwhelming. The moments that replay are the active scene outside of North Forsyth High School and the moment Summers and Cameron's grandma learned from investigators that Cameron was dead.
Sat down and they was like, Miss Summers, it's with our deep condolences that your nephew is gone. I said no, and I just screamed. I just kept telling them, go get my nephew. I was telling Miss Hannah, can you go get Cameron, please?
Through the grief, Summers wants Cameron to be remembered as a beacon of light in the community who loved playing sports.
He loved playing with his cousins, them, and just being goofy. And I mean, his spirit was just, when he come in the room, he would light up the room. You know, he had a genuine spirit and loving spirit.
Through that loving spirit, Cameron navigated life, being raised by his grandma and missing the presence of his parents.
I mean, he was just going through a lot. He would tell me things, and I just give him encouraging words and just let him know, like, hey, Grandma, you are bright.
Summers tells me one of her last conversations with Cameron involved holding him accountable for being out too late.
Because I told him, I said, your grandma be worried about you. You know, I know you be with your friends and stuff like that, but I said, you got to come home, you know.
Summers says he later called back to apologize and said, I'm going to be all right. And while Cameron's family is faced with laying this 16-year-old to rest, his aunt says she has forgiveness in her soul.
I don't hate the boy who did this to my nephew. I don't hate him at all. But for the simple fact that I cannot hug my nephew, I cannot hear his voice anymore. I can't feel his touch. Jesus. I just feel like I'm in a dream.
Wanye and Charlita spoke for nearly an hour. We have posted the full interview on our WXI 12 News YouTube channel. The family says they hope to view Cameron's body this evening, and they are asking for prayers as the family continues to grieve.
And tonight there are many questions left unanswered relating to the incident. WXII 12's Kelly Kendall is live from the school with what we do and don't know tonight. And Kelly, what new details are officials sharing?
Well, Lindsay, they aren't. We've repeatedly reached out to Winston-Salem Forsyth County school officials and law enforcement, and at this point, neither have provided key information about Tuesday's stabbing. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office did confirm that the person injured in the stabbing has been released from the hospital, but we still don't know what led up to the violence, details about the weapon used in the stabbing, and if any arrests have been made or if any charges have been filed. Forsyth County District Attorney Jim O'Neill shared this statement with WXII, writing in part, quote, I can tell you that the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, with assistance of the Winston-Salem Police Department, is diligently gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses, and then we will all sit down and see what the investigation reveals, end quote. Beyond the incident itself, we also do not know if metal detectors were present at North Forsyth on Tuesday. how emergency procedures were executed, or why the parent-student reunification process saw parents standing outside the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum for hours. We've heard from many members of the North Forsyth community who are grieving today, with some setting up a memorial outside the school. One recent graduate, Jay Sean, said he hopes to see changes moving forward.
Really more so emotional control that we need to practice at the home, and more so we need better protection for the kids at school, metal detectors, more officers maybe.
The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office will be holding a press conference about this tomorrow morning at 10:30. You can watch that live on air and online. We will be asking questions, and we will bring you new details as soon as we get them. For now, live outside of North Forsyth High School, I'm Kelly Kendall for WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Kelly. We heard from a lot of students and parents about wanting metal detectors at schools full time. Dr. Ken Trump is president of a consulting firm based in Cleveland. He says it's natural to think about physical security, new hardware, new technology after something terrible happens. But school security is not plug and play, and there are still ways that weapons can get into buildings, even if there are expensive metal detection and other weapons systems in place. He believes many of these incidents often start as smaller scale conflicts which escalate. And in his view, it takes human connections to de-escalate them.
It may be less visible or invisible, but the first and best line of defense is a well-trained, highly alert staff and student body, and a climate and culture where kids come forward and tell adults that they trust about somebody who has a weapon, a plot, or an intent to cause harm.
We also spoke about the spread of that social media video that appears to show the deadly incident. He says administrators really face an uphill battle right now because there are hundreds of students with cell phones ready and willing to record conflicts. He told me the vast majority of kids are good, and it's up to adults to have a conversation with them about civility, respect, and basic human decency.
One local therapist is sharing how parents and school staff can support their students as they process yesterday's fatal stabbing. WXII 12's Joshua Davis continues our team coverage from North Forsyth High School. Joshua.
Lindsay, Dr. Renee Oglesby works with the school system to provide counseling for 9 schools. She says for staff and students in the situation, when it comes to processing trauma, it could take weeks, months, even years.
Sometimes people don't even realize that they've experienced the level of trauma until later on.
In the days after the fatal stabbing of a student on North Forsyth High School's campus, Dr. Renee Oglesby says emotional support and clear communication between students and their parents.
What can we do at home? Have those open lines of communication. Don't minimize what happened. Be able to ask your child, how do they feel about what happened? What was their experience?
And students and teachers.
Teachers looking at what's happening in the classroom. Are they withdrawn? Are they able to focus? Because these are going to be some of the behaviors that they're going to start to see.
Is vital, especially as students continue to struggle with the loss of one of their classmates.
It's probably going to be very hard to go into that bathroom or that hallway and see, and it's going to be a constant reminder.
Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools says counselors and support staff are available for students who want it, but Dr. Oglesby says there's a possibility students may need continued care off campus.
We don't know where each person is in their processing, and if students need to take time away from school, we should be okay with that. If they need to stay home, if they need to talk to somebody, if they need to withdraw for a day or two, but not for longer. Definitely give them grace in how they are responding and reacting.
And Dr. Oglesby adds, it's important that parents and educators reassure students that it's okay to ask for help when it comes to processing violence, and they can do that by being open, ready, and willing to talk. At North Forsyth, I'm Joshua Davis for WXII 12 News.
We will carry the Sheriff's Office news conference both on air and online. It begins tomorrow morning at 10:30. You can also find all of our coverage on our website and our mobile app. Make sure to turn on alerts to be notified of any updates regarding this story.